As the New York Knicks dive into this offseason, I think there's a lot of different people pulling at them to do a lot of fun, sexy stuff. I mean, after all, it's the Big Apple. After all, you're the New York Knicks. You're supposed to make splashes, right? You're supposed to go for the big fish. You're supposed to do something spectacular. It's going to have everyone talking about you through the offseason into the new year. And that's exactly what the New York Knicks should not do. I want to dive into this video. If you enjoy it, smash the like button for me. If you agree, let me know in the comment section, or disagree. We can get at it there. You know, you have Paul George, you got Brandon Ingram, you even got guys like DeMar DeRozan. You've got people available who would be attracted to the New York Knicks, who would be attracted to play alongside of a Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, having the infrastructure, the culture, the winning, the excitement, the advertisement, the endorsements, everything that comes with playing for the Knicks. But the thing is, if I'm honest with you, I believe that this is already a championship team. This is not a good team. It's not an average team. It's not a little bit better than average team. This is a Golden State Warriors 2016, 2017 strength in numbers type of NBA Finals championship run team. You see, a lot of times, and I think more and more we're realizing that the NBA kind of goes in these arcs where it finds a popular trend because whoever's winning creates that trend, whether it's a big three, whether it's a big two, right? Whether it's 3-point shooting, right? The mid range is back. All of a sudden, the big man is back. Now it's popular to go big, right? All these different things come and go, but really it's about finding what works for your team and mastering your personnel so that you can maximize what you guys can produce on the court and hopefully take that all the way to a championship. You see, if you were to introduce someone like a Paul George or a Brandon Ingram to this roster, what you would be undermining potentially is probably its greatest strength, which is its continuity. In this continuity, you have the Villanova boys, you have the tough physical interior play, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart. You have a team that has an identity. It has, most importantly, a pecking order, an affordable pecking order that you can do things where you can move things around if you need to. And it allows you to slot guys in and out because after last season, guys who have been slotted into the starting lineup, into different roles, different positions, and have excelled, have a newfound level of confidence. And the last thing you want to do is bring in an all-star who then says, yeah, I know you played great, but I've been great. So I need you to take a back seat and help me to acclimate myself to what you guys are doing, even if they come in humble, which I'm sure that they would. I'm sure they would come in and say all the right things. But in order for them to really be everything that they are, which is what you're going to pay for them to be, right? You're looking at Paul George, $50 million. Right now you're giving Jalen Brunson 26. Keep that in mind. If you bring in a Brandon Ingram, you're bringing in, what is he getting? 30 something, 40 something million? And then he's going to opt out after next season. And what are you going to be having to give him? 40 something million. So you're going to have to figure out how to construct this team, reconstruct this team around a second all-star. You'll have Jalen Brunson, and then you'll have whoever else that you bring in. And that type of a break in continuity, sometimes it works out, right? Sometimes you can pull a Kawhi Leonard in Toronto and you can figure it out and you have a chance to break through and win. And other times you end up like the Clippers or the Lakers. Well, the Lakers won a championship, but you end up like teams who add a big piece, pay a whole lot of money, and then things happen. And it's not always people's fault. Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, right? An injury here, a bad call there, right? Untimeliness of this, of that. And next thing you know, you don't get to where you thought you were going to get to. But the real benefit of continuity on your team is that it actually allows your engine, the engine of your team, to run smoothly, to run without a lot of resistance, which allows players to maximize their output while minimizing the amount of energy they have to utilize to do it. And that is extremely important when you're looking at the marathon that is the NBA season into the playoffs. As many times it's been said, the playoffs are almost like a whole other season unto itself. When you get into the playoffs, all of a sudden, it's every other day. Well, the first round, you might get a couple days off, maybe even a few. But then by the time you get to that second round, it's every other day. It's nonstop. And it's not just nonstop basketball, it's nonstop playoff level, physical, up and down, a team that's scheming against you for a full series at a time, exposing all your weaknesses, making you work 2 to 3 times, 4 times harder than you ever had to throughout the regular season. And this is where you're going to need your legs. So the continuity to get through the regular season at a high level, to be able to be playing well, to be able to be performing well, and to be able to get there to be a top seed and still have your legs is essential. Just ask the Milwaukee Bucks if they wish they had their legs with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. Just ask the Philadelphia 76ers if they wish they had their legs, right, and been fully healthy. The Los Angeles Clippers. So right now, when I look at this New York Knicks team, when I look at a starting lineup of Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, I go, yo, that's formidable. That's formidable. Dante DiVincenzo has proven to be one hell of a third option. Even at times a second option next to Jalen Brunson, a playoff level performing second option who can get you through a round and deep into a second round, playing great basketball. Almost like a Klay Thompson to a Stephen Curry. Once again, strength in numbers. You have an OG Anunoby who was his dominant defensive self, being able to play both sides and beast out, hitting corner threes, straight line drives to the basket, dunking the ball, shutting down his opponent. He was remarkable. Julius Randle, we know the physicality that he brings, his shooting, his playmaking, his interior play, his rebounding, his finishing at the rim, all these different things, the pressure he puts on the defense. When you have this type of continuity, along with the rebounding of a Mitchell Robinson, the rim protection, his ability to step out on the perimeter, you have a talented starting lineup that can go against anybody. Anybody is playoff tested, is built to make a run. And then when you look at the bench that's been able to uh, uh, solidify itself that much more because of this playoff run. When you look at a Deuce McBride, when you look at a Bojan Bogdanovic, when you look at a Precious Achiuwa, though they will have to re-sign him, Isaiah Hartenstein, who they'll have to re-sign as well. When you look at Josh Hart, when you look at these guys have gone through something. They've built trust that can't be easily replaced. And so what one guy may be able to get you in their potential 20 plus points per game scoring that is really valuable in the playoffs, but collectively, the value of this team far supersedes what one guy will do. And when you think about having to resign a Hartenstein, when you have to resign a Precious Achiuwa, right, potentially an Alec Burks, you're looking at guys that are going to allow you to make a deep run because you know they're going to be able to alleviate the stress and the pressure from that starting lineup, much like the Knicks did a couple seasons ago when they had what's his name, who went to the Toronto Raptors. You all know who I'm talking about, and they had Deuce, right? Because they had RJ too, and they had what's the other cat's name? Obi Toppin, right? And they were just they were able to put in their bench unit, and the bench unit was able to run other teams out the gym. I think that's the same thing that this bench unit is going to be able to do as well, especially if they can get themselves another shooter. I like Alec Burks. I'm not mad at him. But if they can get a two-way, right? If they can get a guy who can shoot maybe like a Gary Trent Jr., but hey, either way, this bench unit is going to be set up to be able to alleviate a lot of the stress from the 82 game season off the starting lineup. And when you're looking at a Tom Thibodeau team, you have to have a deep bench because if he doesn't trust his bench, he will run his starting lineup into the ground. He will. He will. That's just his nature. He believes in playing hard, and we all do too. But we also understand that you have to play tomorrow as well, right? And because you have to play tomorrow as well, you also have to make sure that you guys can actually make it to tomorrow. And he doesn't always factor that in, right? They lost to the Pacers from a battle of attrition. They were just exhausted, and they were injured and exhausted, right? You can't. Everybody knows you can't play OG Anunoby, but 40 something minutes. But I digress. This is a championship team for the New York Knicks. It is. It is. They can go up against Milwaukee, Philadelphia. It doesn't matter how Philly retools. The Knicks should be right there with them. Doesn't matter how Milwaukee looks. Doesn't matter what Boston does. They have a team that is as good as any Eastern Conference team. and deserves to be brought back for a run. But as always, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, if you agree, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Get at me in the comment section, and I'm out. Peace.